Everything you've been led to believe about reality is only a fragment of the whole story. The world you perceive, the life you navigate, and the limitations you accept are all components of an elaborate illusion so masterfully crafted that questioning it never crossed your mind. Yet, beneath the surface, beyond the confines of accepted history and traditional science, there exists a hidden knowledge so potent that it was intentionally obscured. This wisdom, once grasped, unlocks skills and potential far beyond what most consider achievable. The Emerald Tablets of Thoth safeguard ancient insights that surpass the constraints of time, with teachings dating back over 36,000 years, concealed within stone, awaiting those bold enough to reclaim their lost strengths. These writings represent more than mere folklore or allegories. They serve as the framework for mastering existence itself. Imagine if you were never intended to be ensnared in this cycle of hardship, limitation, and doubt. What if you possessed an inner magic capable of transforming your reality? The moment to uncover the truths they've sought to keep hidden has arrived. Everything around you appears solid, tangible, and unwavering. The earth beneath you, the items you handle, even the physical body you occupy. All of it seems irrefutable. Yet this too is a part of the illusion. The Emerald Tablets disclose a truth that many may reject. You are not merely your body, your thoughts, your name, or even your mind. You are something far more profound. Consciousness is your true essence, an everlasting awareness temporarily residing in a physical vessel, unconfined by it. From the instant you entered this world, you were conditioned to think your limitations were rooted in your flesh and bone, to identify your body as your essence, and to believe that your existence ends when it ceases. However, the teachings of Thoth dismantle this illusion, a ruse designed to keep you feeling small. He represented the body as a container, a tool lent to you by the universe to engage with this reality. Just as a cup holds water, the cup itself is not the water. Likewise, your consciousness gives shape to your body, not the other way around. Modern science is beginning to comprehend what the ancients recognized long ago. Quantum physics indicates that the observer influences reality. Consciousness itself molds the physical realm. Experiments have indicated that subatomic particles behave differently based on whether or not they are being observed. If simple observation can modify the very fabric of reality, what does this imply about the mind's potential? The Emerald Tablet alluded to this countless years ago, disclosing that reality is not a prison. Rather, it is something you are constantly manifesting. Consider the instances when you experience profound intuition, a sense of knowing beyond logic, or those moments when time appeared to slow and your thoughts alone seemed to alter the events around you. These experiences are not mere coincidences. They are glimpses into your true essence, a reminder that your consciousness extends beyond this physical realm. Yet over generations, society has stripped you of this awareness, reinforcing the notion that you are merely a fragile human traversing a tumultuous world. In reality, you were never intended to be confined by such limitations. The understanding of your true essence has been concealed, distorted, and dismissed as mere myth. Some of the most potent teachings are too profound for platforms like YouTube. In our free newsletter, Insights Academy, we unveil what we cannot express here, including the forgotten techniques to elevate consciousness. For a limited time, you can also receive a complimentary copy of the Kion. Just sign up now using the link in the description. Once you recognize that you are more than just a physical body, a new question arises. What else have you been misled about? The illusion of physicality is merely the first layer of control. The next layer is even more insidious, governing every action, every thought, and every belief you hold. You have been conditioned to perceive time as a linear progression from past to present to future, as something to pursue, a fleeting element you must race against. Yet, the reality is much deeper. Stranger than that, for time itself is merely an illusion you have been led to believe in. You've been taught that time follows a straight path, a relentless progression from the past to the future, with no opportunity for return. That every second lost is lost forever. That you are confined by the boundaries of your age, your past choices, and an unpredictable future. Yet this is a fabrication, a significant deception perpetuated on the human mind. The emerald tablets of Thoth unveil that time does not unfold in a linear fashion. It's not something to pursue or something that dominates you. Rather, it is a force, a structure that bends, loops, and cycles independently of how you've been conditioned to view it. Once you grasp this, your perception of reality will change forever. Thoth describes time as a collection of repeating cycles, much like the rhythm found in nature itself. The sun rises and sets, seasons shift, and the tides ebb and flow. Nothing travels forward in a linear manner. Everything repeats eternally, shifting through cycles of existence. What if your life, your experiences, and even your soul's journey adhere to this same pattern? What if time isn't something you traverse, but something you exist within, allowing you to step in and out of moments as easily as you move from one room to another? Modern physics is only just starting to validate what Thoth revealed millennia ago. Researchers in quantum mechanics assert that the past, present, and future might all coexist simultaneously. They propose that time may not be a flowing river, but rather a vast ocean, where every moment is accessible at any point. Experiments within particle physics hint at this same reality, that what we refer to as the past can still be influenced by decisions made in the present, indicating that time is far more fluid than we have been led to believe. Thoth comprehended this, stating that time does not change, but all things evolve within it. If time is indeed cyclical, your experiences of déjà vu might not simply be a trick of the mind, but a moment where the illusion falters, giving you a fleeting glimpse of something that exists beyond your current awareness. If time is not genuinely linear, then what you perceive as past lives are not behind you, but rather unfolding simultaneously, available to you if only you learned how to access them. As you delve deeper into the teachings of Thoth, it becomes increasingly evident that time is not a prison. It is a force that can be understood and navigated. This insight has been concealed for a purpose. If you were to comprehend that time does not ensnare you, you would not be limited by regret, aging, or fear of the unknown. You would transcend the distractions of contemporary life and embrace your full potential. This wisdom was known to the ancient initiates, who traversed the hidden paths of knowledge while the rest of humanity remained unaware. They tapped into wisdom across lifetimes, recognized the recurring patterns in history, and utilized them to shape their own existence. They realized that the future is not merely something that happens to you, it is something you actively enter and align yourself with. Yet, here lies the most profound deception of all. If time does not bind you, then neither does death. If consciousness transcends time, what occurs when the body ceases to operate? You have been programmed to view death as a finality, an abyss from which no one returns. However, the teachings of Thoth reveal a truth so significant and transformative that once grasped, fear itself begins to dissolve. The notion of an ending is a mere illusion, because death is simply a transition. You have been led to believe that death signifies the end, that when your body falters, your existence is snuffed out like a flame in a gust of wind, never to return. This fear has influenced every aspect of your life, often unconsciously. It governs how you live, the risks you shy away from, and the limitations you impose on yourself. But this fear is founded on a falsehood. The emerald tablets of Thoth disclose a wisdom so ancient and powerful that those who truly understood it no longer feared death at all. Because death is not the conclusion. It is a doorway, a transition, not a finality. The self that you identify with, the consciousness that absorbs these words, does not. When the physical body ceases to function, it doesn't simply disappear. Instead, it transforms and continues on. This transition is articulated as a change in frequency, and it is referred to as the eternal flame of life, an indestructible force that only alters in its manifestation. Thoth imparted that our physical form is merely a temporary vessel, a container for consciousness that is relinquished when it serves no further purpose. However, consciousness, the true essence of your being, ascends beyond this physicality, entering a different realm of existence. Hence, ancient cultures perceived death not as a conclusion, but as a passageway to something greater. The Egyptians, who honored Thoth as the deity of wisdom, believed the soul journeyed through the halls of Amenti, a sacred realm where the true essence of a person was assessed, purified, and subsequently reborn. In modern times, scientific studies start to echo these ancient perceptions. Investigations into near-death experiences have consistently revealed similar narratives. Individuals report leaving their physical forms, encountering profound realizations, and perceiving beyond the tangible reality. These accounts illustrate a continuity of life that goes beyond the confines of the material world. If death truly marked the end, why do myriad accounts of such experiences arise across various cultures and ages? And if consciousness was simply a brain function, how does awareness continue even when the physical body no longer operates? The answer is straightforward. You are not your body. Your identity has never been solely tied to it. The body serves as an instrument, a biological interface that facilitates experiences in this dimension. When it is no longer required, you return to a more expansive awareness that transcends time and space. This is what Thoth alluded to when he expressed that man is a flame anchored to a mountain, yet this flame is distinct from the mountain itself. Your physical existence is tethered to earth, but the essence within you belongs to the universe. This understanding has been hidden for a significant reason. If humanity were to genuinely comprehend that death is not a conclusion, the entire system of control would unravel. The fear of death is what keeps individuals compliant, hesitant to embrace risks, and reluctant to pursue their true potential. Question of why many fear truly embracing life is linked to the rewriting of history and the suppression of ancient wisdom. Those who have a deep understanding of death realize that life is, in truth, without limits. This raises the question, what occurs after death? What exists beyond the veil? The realms described are beyond human perception, realms where the soul travels before it returns to a physical existence. It speaks of energy fields, consciousness cycles, and a transformative process that precedes rebirth. This knowledge, once accessible to ancient initiates, has been concealed from you, but it remains intact. Those who search will discover it, and those who comprehend it will break free from fear. Once you understand that death is merely a transition, another profound truth unfolds. Life itself is not as it appears. What you experience as reality is simply a projection, a vibration you tune into. Just as your body is not your true identity, the physical world is not the entirety of existence. There is something deeper, an unseen essence that holds the key to unlocking the genuine power of your consciousness. The emerald tablets provide clarity on this matter. What if what you perceive as reality isn't solid, but rather an illusion molded by energy and vibration? You have been conditioned to view the physical world as absolute, as something external, fixed, and unchanging. Yet the Emerald Tablets reveal a truth so profound that it has the potential to transform your perception of existence itself. Reality is not constructed from matter. It is composed of frequencies. Everything you see, touch, and experience is merely energy oscillating at various levels. The true key to unleashing your power lies in your ability to shift your own frequency. The teachings of Thoth indicate that everything in existence, including your body, thoughts, and emotions, is made up of vibrational patterns. The sole differentiation between forms lies in the frequency at which they resonate. This principle explains why sound can shatter glass, how certain emotions can influence your health, and why some places have particular energetic qualities. Or some individuals feel energized, while others experience fatigue. You are perpetually engaging with these unseen energies, whether you recognize it or not. Contemporary science is gradually aligning with this ancient wisdom. Quantum physics has unveiled that subatomic particles do not maintain a set state until they are observed. At their essence, everything is energy, oscillating between varying states shaped by consciousness itself. This resonates perfectly with what Thoth conveyed millennia ago. All things originate from the breath of the Great One. Vibration is fundamental to all existence. He grasped that what we consider reality is not steadfast. It is a continuous flow of energy molded by consciousness. You have likely sensed the impact of vibration in your everyday experiences. Have you ever entered a room and instantly felt tension, even when no words were spoken? Or encountered someone who exudes tranquility and positivity, instantly putting you at ease? This experience is not just a figment of your imagination, it's the interaction of energy frequencies influencing one another. The same principle applies to your own emotions and thoughts. When you dwell in feelings of fear, anxiety, or anger, your frequency lowers, attracting experiences that resonate with that energy. Conversely, when you operate from clarity, confidence, and tranquility, you align with higher vibrations, prompting your reality to transform in response. This is why ancient mystics, sages, and initiates from mystery schools engaged in practices like meditation, sound healing, and mantra chanting. These were not mere rituals, they were techniques crafted to change frequency and attune consciousness to elevated states of awareness. Thoth spoke of the might of sacred sound, explaining how particular words and tones could unlock energy centers within both body and mind. This knowledge has not been lost. Rather, it has been obscured beneath layers of distractions and misinformation hiding in plain sight. However, here's the truth. You don't require permission to access this power. It has always been available to you. Within you lies the power to elevate your vibration, transform your frequency, and design your own reality. This capability isn't exclusive to the elite, mystics, or those gifted in spirituality. It is your inherent right. Once you grasp how to direct this energy, you'll discover that the universe responds to your intentions. This is precisely why Thoth underscored the significance of consciously mastering one's own vibration. He recognized that by managing your internal energy, you acquire the power to affect the external environment. This isn't about superstition or mere wishful thinking. It is an elemental truth of existence, an unseen force that regulates everything. Those who are aware of it can mold their lives in ways that others might deem impossible. Yet vibration does not function independently. It exists within a framework of universal balance, a force that guarantees everything ultimately returns to harmony. Individuals who fail to comprehend this are trapped in turmoil, perpetually reacting to the world's ups and downs. Conversely, those who align with this cosmic principle unlock remarkable potential. They move beyond mere reaction to the realm of creation. They don't just master their own energies, they attain mastery over reality itself. At this juncture, the next significant secret of the Emerald Tablets is unveiled, the principle of balance. This is the driving force that rules the entire universe. Everything that exists strives for equilibrium. The rhythms of nature, the movements of celestial bodies, the rise and decline of civilizations. Nothing remains in chaos indefinitely. Yet, in your own experience, how often have you felt ensnared in disharmony, perpetually swayed between extremes, and unable to achieve peace? The Emerald Tablets of Thoth elucidate that balance is not merely an abstract idea, it is a universal law, a force as tangible as gravity and as potent as time itself, governing everything from cosmic movements to the energy flow within your own being. Once you recognize this, you cease resisting reality and begin to flow with it. Thoth referred to the principle of equilibrium as an immutable law that assures all things will eventually reach their proper alignment. Return to harmony. This is the reason emotional upheaval, destructive behaviors, and erratic thoughts inevitably collapse under their own strain. A mind overwhelmed by fear and anger will eventually tire itself out, leading it towards stillness. Societies fueled by greed and corruption will ultimately fall apart, reverting to a state of order. Those who fail to comprehend this principle tend to resist it, attempting to manipulate reality to conform to their desires. In contrast, those who have mastered this principle move in perfect synchronization with the universal flow, leveraging this knowledge to craft their lives. The ancients grasped the concept of balance far better than contemporary civilization ever has. The yin and yang of Eastern philosophy, the ma'at of Egyptian teachings, and the hermetic principle of polarity all convey the same fundamental truth. Opposites are not adversaries, they are complementary halves of a unified whole. Light and darkness, expansion and contraction, order and chaos are not destined to be in conflict. Rather, they subsist in harmony, each providing context to the other. Yet society has conditioned you to resist this notion, to reject discomfort, to fear struggle, and to perceive peace as an external goal to be pursued. However, the teaching reveals another truth. Authentic mastery stems not from evading imbalance, but from learning how to traverse it. You have encountered this before, even if you were unaware of it. Recall a moment when stress or frustration took hold of you, leading to a breaking point where your mind found silence, and clarity broke through the turmoil. That act was balance restoring itself. Or consider instances of profound joy that appear unexpectedly after enduring hardship. This too is equilibrium in action. These cycles manifest in every facet of existence, from your thoughts to the broader movements of history. When you learn to recognize them, you liberate yourself from their control. The crucial aspect lies within your own energy, as the universe seeks balance just as your consciousness does. Those who master the art of stabilizing their internal world can gain authority over their external reality. Is the reason why throughout history, monks, sages, and mystics have pursued stillness. A balanced mind is one that resists control. When you cease to be reactive, halting the pendulum swing between emotional highs and lows, and learn to remain grounded regardless of external circumstances, you become impervious. However, equilibrium goes beyond mere inner mastery. It encompasses everything you create, every choice you make, and every ripple you send out into the universe. If you operate from a space of desperation, forcing outcomes, pursuing success, manipulating situations, you will consistently encounter resistance. Conversely, when you act from a position of unwavering alignment, trusting the flow of life, things begin to align with ease. Chances are you've experienced this. Moments when everything flowed seamlessly, when the right opportunities surfaced, when life unfolded effortlessly. That wasn't just chance, it was balance in action. This is why those who comprehend universal laws do not attempt to force things. They seek alignment, moving with the flow rather than opposing it. They realize that balance is not a passive state. It's something that can be cultivated, harnessed, and directed. Those who master this law gain an immeasurable power, traversing different realms unencumbered by extremes, navigating existence with a grace and certainty that others can only admire. Yet balance is merely a foundational secret, preparing you for the next insight, the deeper enigma concealed within the emerald tablets. Once you learn to stabilize your energy and discern the universe's rhythm, you're equipped to unveil the forces that shape reality itself, those unseen rulers who have observed, guided, and influenced humanity since time immemorial. They are known as the Lords of Nine, and their revelations alter everything, transcending the illusions of time, surpassing the veil of life and death, and even overcoming the bounds of human perception. There exist forces that are profoundly ancient and powerful. They mold the very essence of reality itself. You may have been led to believe that life is purely coincidental, that the cosmos is in disarray, and that our existence unfolds without purpose. However, the Emerald Tablets of Thoth disclose a vastly different narrative. Reality is not chaotic. It is observed, directed, and sustained by entities of profound might, known as the Lords of Nine. These beings are neither mere legends nor deities, as depicted by religious texts. Rather, they serve as the architects of reality, cosmic overseers who influence the energy flow, the rhythms of time, and the development of consciousness. Thoth portrayed them not as aloof figures, but as dynamic forces that engage directly with individuals pursuing the concealed path. He referred to them as ancient and unfathomable, existing eons before humanity and long before the stars took shape. Each of the nine governs a unique element of the cosmos, wielding control over powers that remain incomprehensible to most. While they do not directly meddle in human affairs, their presence is palpable in every moment of existence. They are the guardians of balance, ensuring that cycles unfold as necessary and that the grand cosmic order prevails. Operating above human law, they remain bound by the universal laws of the cosmos. Throughout history, traces of the nine have emerged in myths, religions, and sacred teachings, from the nine muses of ancient Greece to the nine gods of Egyptian cosmology and the nine unknown men of Indian lore. These are fragmented remnants of a deeper reality. Even today, esoteric societies and secret organizations have sought to safeguard the knowledge of these beings, recognizing that those who align with the Lords of Nine can access a realm of power beyond human understanding. But what implications does this hold for you? If these beings indeed exist, if they truly oversee the tapestry of existence, then the inquiry shifts from whether they shape reality to how you might attune yourself to their wisdom. Thoth identified the nine as the gatekeepers to elevated dimensions of consciousness, revealing that those who seek can unlock these realms. To awaken, one must first demonstrate their worthiness. This is why initiates in ancient mystery schools faced trials. Only the most disciplined minds were granted access to deeper teachings. This wasn't because knowledge was meant to be withheld, but rather because only those prepared could wield it responsibly. This is the secret behind the modern world's erosion of authentic spiritual power. You've been conditioned to view yourself as insignificant, to think that consciousness is merely a byproduct of biology, and that there is no greater structure to the universe. If you uncovered the truth that reality is not a prison to endure, but a canvas to shape, influence, and interact with, you would no longer be under control. Those who grasp the mysteries understand that they do not adhere to the same constraints as others. They perceive obstacles differently. They navigate life with the knowledge that they are intricately linked with the forces that guide the cosmos. They are intrinsically part of them. Thoth wrote that one can connect with the Lords of Nine, and their presence can be sensed by those who elevate their vibrational frequency. He outlined techniques for vibrational alignment, methods to raise consciousness to a level where their wisdom is revealed. This is the reason certain symbols, sounds, and geometric patterns have been utilized for thousands of years. They serve as keys, tools for transcending the physical dimension. The flower of life, the sacred geometry embedded in ancient temples, and the resonant frequencies of forgotten chants are all remnants of a deeper understanding, clues left for seekers on their journey. Yet this path is not designed for the idle or unengaged. It is for those willing to transcend limitations, move beyond fear, and recognize that power is not a gift, it is claimed. Once you align with the current of cosmic law and step outside the illusions of the world, the next revelation becomes clear. Reality is not static. It is malleable, molded by sound frequency and intention. Power of language, the same energy that brought the universe into being, can be tapped into by those who grasp its essence. This represents one of the most profound secrets of the Emerald Tablets, the understanding of how sound creates our very reality. Ancient civilizations recognized the significance of spoken language, chants, and sacred vibrations. It was never merely about poetry or rituals. It encompassed a comprehension of something much deeper, a depth that contemporary society has largely overlooked. The Emerald Tablets of Thoth unveil one of the most incredible truths. Sound is not merely a vibration, it is the energy which molds reality itself. Every word you utter, every thought you vocalize, and every sound that travels through the very fabric of existence resonates with an energy that forms, transforms, and impacts the world surrounding you. This wisdom was known to Thoth and the initiates of ancient mystery schools. He advised, "Sing thou the song of freedom, create the high vibration that will unite thee with the whole." This is not mere metaphor, it is guidance. The universe is fundamentally constructed through frequency, a vast interaction of energies operating at varying speeds, shaping what you experience as tangible existence. When you delve into the core level of reality, what seems to be solid matter is actually just vibrating energy fields, perpetually shifting and constantly affected by unseen dynamics. Sound represents one of the most formidable of these dynamics. This explains why specific frequencies impact you on a level that transcends the conscious mind. Certain melodies can uplift your spirit, while other soundscapes may evoke discomfort. Age-old chants and mantras have been utilized across various cultures, not out of superstition, but because they attune the mind and body to particular vibrational states. The Emerald Tablets unveil that sound, when wielded with intention, can align you with elevated frequencies, enabling you to free yourself from mental and physical confines. This is the key that has been blatantly concealed. Modern science is beginning to unearth what Thoth knew. Revealed ages ago, the exploration of cymatics, the intriguing science of visible sound vibrations, has shown that sound waves have the capacity to affect matter in precise and replicable manners. As frequencies flow through water or sand, they generate geometric patterns, forming shapes that echo the sacred geometry evident in ancient temples and spiritual texts. This occurrence is not merely coincidental. It serves as proof of a profound truth. Sound is the architect of reality. Vibration structures the formless, and if sound can mold matter, what implications does this have for the words you articulate and the thoughts you express? Every sound you emanate is more than just noise. It's a directive to the universe, a ripple in the energetic fabric of existence. This insight is why ancient scriptures caution against the careless use of language, why affirmations and incantations have long been employed to bring forth reality, and why silence itself is held in high esteem within esoteric traditions. Understanding that words carry power allows individuals to shape their own destinies. Unfortunately, this wisdom has been obscured, often diluted into superstition and forgotten lore. If humanity truly comprehended the creative force inherent in sound, society would not operate as it currently does. If you were aware that your words not only influence your thoughts, but also the very essence of reality, would you communicate differently? Would you engage in different thought patterns? Would you permit the voices of fear, doubt, and limitation to govern your existence, or would you start to consciously steer your vibration, resonating your voice with the frequencies of creation? The teachings reveal that individuals who master sound unlock abilities beyond what most deem possible. Manifestation, healing, even the alteration of consciousness itself. It all begins with grasping how frequency interacts with reality. This is why the most ancient and revered symbols of wisdom were never just inscribed, they were spoken. The names of gods, sacred incantations, and vibrational keys embedded in ancient languages all possessed power that transcended mere words. Meaning, and this is why contemporary language has been stripped of its energetic essence. It explains why you find yourself overwhelmed by trivial words and why your focus is continually pulled towards distractions. The most potent expressions have been diluted into clichés and hollow catchphrases because when words lose their significance, they forfeit their power to influence reality. However, those who remember, who comprehend that sound transcends mere communication, can reclaim this lost force. Yet sound is not the sole element. It represents just one piece of a larger puzzle, one facet of a deeper system of understanding that oversees everything. The emerald tablets do not merely unveil secrets. They offer a framework for awakening the latent energies within you. If you've journeyed this far, you are prepared for the subsequent phase. You are ready to grasp the method of accessing this wisdom, the route to inner mastery that countless seekers have traversed for millennia. The ultimate truth stands as follows. This ancient wisdom has never been lost. It has perpetually resided here, waiting for those who are prepared to embrace it. Most individuals will never stumble upon this knowledge, not because it is concealed, but because they have been conditioned to overlook it. The environment surrounding you is crafted to distract, to keep your mind preoccupied with inconsequential matters, thereby muffling the timeless whispers of profound truths that have always existed. However, the emerald tablets reveal that knowledge is not simply handed down, it must be claimed. The journey toward inner mastery is not one taken by chance, nor is it granted to those who merely desire it. It must be earned, and only those prepared to transcend the illusions of the physical world will fully grasp its significance. Thoth did not compose the emerald tablets for the general populace. He reserved them for the seekers, those who sense that greater realities exist just out of ordinary reach. He recognized that knowledge without wisdom can be perilous, and wielding power without comprehension inevitably fosters destruction. This understanding is why the teachings are intricately encoded and layered. Moment you grasp that existence is not simply occurring to you, but is unfolding through you, you break free from the constraints that society has imposed. This is the wisdom that has been safeguarded by secretive traditions, known by those who recognized its significance. This is why notable figures throughout history, such as Da Vinci, Pythagoras, and Tesla, delved into the same truths presented in the emerald tablets. They comprehended that reality is not static but fluid, molded by those with the insight to perceive beyond mere appearances. Now, this understanding is within your reach. You stand on the brink of something profound, something that transcends typical human comprehension. Yet the question lingers, what actions will you take with this insight? Many will listen to these teachings and resume their lives unchanged, allowing the distractions of daily life to pull them back into oblivion. However, a select few will feel the pull, an undeniable awareness that their journey to this point has a purpose, and for those individuals, the subsequent move is evident. Authentic transformation demands action, and the ultimate insight of the Emerald Tablets is not merely about accumulating knowledge, but about utilizing that knowledge to redefine your reality. The adventure is not complete, it is only beginning. Most will never reach this pivotal stage, hearing the insights, igniting a spark of curiosity, only to succumb to the weight of their conditioned existence. The deceptions of our world are powerful, strong enough to keep entire societies in slumber, convincing individuals they are powerless within the confines they have been trained to accept. Yet, you are still present, and this signifies that part of you intuitively recognizes the truth. It indicates that something profound within you has always sensed that this reality is not as it appears, and that you are more than the narrative prescribed to you. The Emerald Tablets of Thoth are not just relics from the past. They are not merely a compilation of esoteric doctrines. They serve as a dynamic framework for those poised to awaken, unveiling the concealed principles that govern our reality. Understanding that life is not merely occurring to you, but rather flows through you, liberates you from the constraints enforced by the world. This wisdom has been conveyed through secret schools, meticulously preserved by those who recognized its potency. This is why monumental figures in history, such as Da Vinci, Pythagoras, and Tesla, delved into the very principles articulated within the Emerald Tablets. They comprehended that reality is not static but dynamic, molded by those aware enough to see past the facade. Now this insight lies in your grasp. You find yourself on the brink of something expansive, transcending the boundaries of conventional human comprehension. Yet the question lingers, how will you respond? Many will hear these teachings and revert back to their routines unchanged, permitting the distractions of daily life to lead them back into oblivion. Conversely, a select few will sense the call, a profound realization that they have arrived here for a purpose. For those prepared, the subsequent step is unmistakable, as genuine transformation necessitates action. The ultimate secret of the Emerald Tablets extends beyond mere knowledge. It is about implementing that knowledge to reforge your existence. The journey remains ongoing. It is merely the beginning. Most individuals will never arrive at this juncture. They will listen to the words, feel the flicker of curiosity, and subsequently let the burden of their conditioned existence pull them back. The deceptions of the world are formidable, robust enough to keep entire civilizations in slumber, convincing them of their powerlessness and confining them within the limits instilled upon them. However, your continued presence here signifies something significant. A part of you inherently knows the truth. Deep within, you have always sensed that this world is not what it appears to be, that your essence transcends what you've been led to believe. The Emerald Tablets of Thoth are not merely artifacts of history. They are not just another assortment of mystical teachings. Instead, they serve as a dynamic blueprint for those prepared to awaken. They unveil the concealed laws that govern reality, forces that mold existence, and the techniques through which consciousness can rise above its constraints. The inquiry is no longer about the authenticity of this knowledge. Rather, it focuses on how you will utilize it. For those who disregard these teachings, life will persist as it always has. an unending cycle of repetition, responding to the outside world without questioning the reasons behind events. They will pursue ambitions that were never genuinely theirs, follow paths designed to keep them preoccupied, and fear the unfamiliar instead of welcoming it. They will adhere to human laws, oblivious to the higher laws that dictate existence itself. In contrast, for those who embrace the truth, a new path unfolds, a journey of mastery where life transforms from a series of occurrences into a manifestation shaped by intention. Here, the unseen forces that have influenced your life from the very beginning become evident and comprehensible. Fear gives way to knowledge, and constraints evolve into possibilities. The most notable initiates throughout history did not simply accumulate knowledge, they put it to use. They learned to control their energy, transcending the illusion of time, speaking with authority, and harmonizing with universal equilibrium. They realized that the physical realm is merely a projection, a reflection of the frequencies they tuned into. They recognized that true transformation arises not from external elements, but from inner strength. That power is still accessible to you. It has always been present beneath the clamor, hidden beneath layers of distraction, fear, and doubt. The emerald tablets were never intended to be ancient writings gathering dust. They were meant to be applied, explored, and embodied, but only by those ready to liberate themselves from the cycles that keep them dormant. This knowledge is merely the starting point. There is so much more that cannot be conveyed in a single video. Some truths are too potent, too life-altering to be openly discussed, which is why we have established Insights Academy, where we unveil the concealed teachings that cannot be shared on YouTube. If you are prepared to advance further and genuinely grasp these ancient secrets, you can enroll now through the link in the description, which serves as a portal to this wisdom. You will receive a complimentary copy of the Kabbalah, a pivotal text for understanding the deeper laws of the universe. However, this offer is available for a limited time. Those who delay will forfeit their chance. You have arrived here for a reason. Whether you continue this journey or retreat is entirely up to you. The emerald tablets have safeguarded this wisdom for millennia, awaiting the right moment, the individuals ready to listen. If this message resonated with you, please share your thoughts by commenting, "I understood it," because the initial step to awakening is recognizing that the illusion exists, and once you perceive it clearly, there is no turning back.